let's talk about how not to raise entitled families, but thoughtful ones instead. I think Christmas time is a really good time to talk about this because Christmas has a way of revealing patterns that we've perhaps been building all year long and maybe even longer. And while we talk about this, I'm going to wrap up just a few last presents and Christmas loose ends.
If your family forgets you and you're feeling that ache this year, I want to give you a gift. Does your family forget you on Christmas? Okay, I know what it feels like. Mine used to. Every year. For the same reason yours probably does. The kids were all little and money was tight. I kept telling my husband, I would always tell my husband, just don't worry about getting me anything. And would you believe that? The man actually listened. Men, I tell you. So when your family's young, it is natural and automatic to just go all in and make the holiday all about them and not expect anything in return. When your family's young, it is all about the kids. And that's normal and it's natural and, like I said, automatic. All of the gifts, all of the decorations, all of the work, it feels right and exciting for the parent. And in those early years, it's a sweet and really good thing. But after a few years, something starts to shift. If you've gone 5-10 years of making sure everybody else's stockings are filled and yours is always empty, after a while it can start to kind of wear on you. And if you consistently make Christmas all about the kids, all about what they get, and you never teach them how to give something back, or you never teach them the gift of giving, essentially you're just raising entitled kids. It's important to take your kids and encourage them to also give gifts to each other, to their father. And if nobody is doing that, nobody's teaching them that they need to give a gift to mommy too, then eventually you need to. Because kids need to know that their mother's a human and their mother has feelings. And if we don't do this, we may be out of completely good intentions, but unintentionally, we end up raising entitled kids who aren't very grateful. Because Christmas, it was never supposed to be about consumerism. It is supposed to be about shaping hearts. So in our story, after probably about 5 or 6 years of my stocking being empty, I finally spoke up and I'm like, some socks would be nice. My family I got a great family and they immediately got the picture. And I have had gifts ever since then. But I will tell you one thing. In the beginning, I had to get my own gifts. When my family was starting to get old enough where they should kind of know better, but still weren't doing anything for me, I went out and got my own gifts and I made a big deal about it. I ended up telling my family, hey, it would mean so much if you picked something up for me, even if it was just socks, okay? And eventually they got the message.
We're going to talk more about this in a couple minutes, but I do want to briefly switch the subject for just a moment. We're going to talk coffee for a moment. Kind of like talking shop, but coffee. So I'm from up north, born and raised up here, and in every town, even the tiny ones, there are coffee drive-thrus. And usually in bigger towns, you can find one like every quarter of a mile. There are so many. And the coffee up here is like none other. Up north, where the winters are long, 6 months most of the time, and the days are short, you need good coffee. It's kind of like a survival liquid. Anyways, when I moved to the Midwest and married my husband, and for about 15 years, there was no coffee drive-thrus, and I was like languishing. During all of that time, one special moment though was somebody gave me an espresso machine I didn't want anymore, and I loved it, but our home was so small that I had to give it away. Now I live back up north again, but I rarely make it off the mountain for the really good coffee. And honestly, that's okay now, because guess what? It's funny how some things that were meant for you find their way back, even little things. So I had to give that espresso machine away years ago, but I have another one now. This Christmas, I am enjoying a new espresso machine, and I'm calling it my Christmas gift from my newest sponsor, Meraki.
This beauty has become part of our quiet morning rhythm this season, and truly it has elevated my entire coffee morning ritual. Meraki integrates precision grinding, intelligent extraction, and a seamless frothing all in one system. It's a pro-level home espresso machine engineered to give you cafe quality results with incredible consistency. And if you've watched me for any amount of time, you know that coffee is my moment of peace. As a large family ADHD mama, I need tools that simplify my life, not complicate it, and Meraki does exactly that. My breve latte tastes the same every single morning, rich, creamy, and perfectly balanced. Meraki is a professional quality espresso machine designed for the home coffee lover, but also for boutique hospitality. Farmhouses, B&Bs, guest rooms, anywhere you want a professional level experience. And just think of what a wonderful Christmas present this would make. It is built with sustainability in mind, designed to last, and becomes a trusted partner in your daily routine. Not just a machine, but part of the morning ritual. If you are ready to upgrade your home coffee experience to something truly exceptional, check out the Meraki espresso machine. All the details are in the description below.
As moms, our kids are first. They're always first. We put their needs first, their schedules first, their comfort first. That instinct is good. It's loving. It's sacrificial. But if we're not careful, that same instinct can drift into something unhealthy. Not because we love our kids too much, but because we stop teaching them how to love other people well. And Christmas is one of the clearest places that this shows up. If every year our children experience Christmas as something that only happens to them, for example, gifts appear, meals appear, their favorite dishes appear, magic appears, and if they're never invited to get in on the giving, we risk raising kids who see people, especially mom, as a resource instead of a human being with a heart. It's absolutely our job to make our kids feel special, but it's also our job to teach them how to make other people feel special, and that includes both parents. Because if our kids never see mom's needs acknowledged or appreciated, or dad's needs acknowledged and appreciated, they don't learn gratitude, they learn entitlement. And there is no joy, no happiness in an entitled person that never feels gratitude. That is a miserable life for somebody, and we don't want that for our kids. And here's something else we don't talk about enough. Extreme self-sacrifice doesn't just affect kids. It affects marriages too. I have seen good men slowly ruined, not by selfish wives, but by wives who were too self-sacrificial. When a wife never asks for anything, never expresses any kind of desires or wishes, and never allows herself to be considered, she doesn't create gratitude, she creates passivity. A good man wants to give, he wants to love well, he wants to show up, but men don't pick up hints. I'm going to say that again. Men don't get hints. I had a stepdad once who would say, the Bible doesn't say you have not because you hint not. Sometimes we have to spell things out kindly, but clearly for our men. If there's never space made for men to be giving as well, if we never allow them to treat us or spoil us or help them in the process, sometimes they will stop trying. Not because they don't care, but because they've been trained that their effort isn't needed or appreciated, and they've also have no clue of where to even start. And our children watch that dynamic. They're watching. They're learning what marriage looks like. They're learning whether love flows both ways. They're learning whether women matter only in what they provide. Not a lesson we want to pass down. We do not want our daughters or our sons thinking that the women in their lives are only worthy if they are high production and overachieving. And we don't want this being thought of fathers either. So one of the simplest, healthiest things that we can do, especially at Christmas time, is allow ourselves to be loved. And if our family doesn't know how to do that for us, we can gently, lovingly, and kindly help them along a little bit. That means telling our kids what we want for Christmas, even if they don't ask. Most years, the only thing I ever really ask for from my kids is a family picture. And I'll say it out loud. I just want a family picture so that I can have it when you guys are all gone someday, and I can look back and remember, hey, at one point we were all a family and we were all together. Now, I will say sometimes I also ask for socks because Well, my girls keep stealing mine and I'm always out, so I will ask for socks quite often. But these are just little things, and even though they're little things, they give kids a chance to practice thinking about someone other than themselves. And it's the same with the husband. So I will sometimes help my husband along. If I'm out and I see something before Christmas, I will let him know that I saw it. I'm like, hey, I saw this and Christmas is coming, even if it's small. Because here's the honest truth. It is awkward to sit on Christmas morning year after year watching everyone open gifts while there isn't one for you. Now, when your family's young, this is pretty common and it's to be expected and it's kind of normal. But after 5, 6, 7, 10 years, it can get pretty old, let me just tell you. It stops feeling special, and after around 10 years of that, I promise you will start feeling invisible and not very valued. Now, I'm not convinced we're doing anyone any favors by disappearing that way, moms. Invisible self-sacrifice, it does not teach gratitude, it teaches entitlement. When we allow ourselves to be seen as wives, women, mothers, we give our families a gift far bigger than anything under that tree. We're teaching them empathy, thoughtfulness, and that love is mutual. And we're also teaching them that it feels wonderful to be loved, but also to love. And that is what this is all about. We don't want to raise kids who expect everything, but kids who notice people and know the joy of giving as well. Not just kids who consume, but who contribute. And not kids who just see parents as resources, because that's a very dangerous path to go down. But we want to raise kids who see hearts and realize how valuable they are as people and how valuable people are. Christmas is a beautiful time to start setting those patterns. It doesn't require more money or more effort either, just more intention, more honesty, and the courage to let ourselves be human in front of the people that we're raising. Because raising thoughtful kids begins when we model what thoughtful love actually looks like in our homes, in our marriages, and in ourselves. Philippians 2:4 says, "Let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interests of others." So that verse doesn't say ignore yourself. It says look also unto others. And Acts 20:35 says, "It is more blessed to give than to receive." Romans 12:10 says, "Love one another with brotherly affection. Outdo one another in showing honor." So this starts in our homes, and again in our marriages and in our families. And we have to teach this because it's not something that just shows up automatically in most people, especially kids.
In my new course, Restored and Radiant, I teach the exact communication tools that I had to learn the hard way. And I just want to say that chronic overwhelm and stress kind of makes advocating for yourself feel impossible. And so I get it, and I have a heart to help other mamas with this situation, because a hurting, unseen, taken for granted homemaker, especially during the holidays, it's just hard. I know what it feels like, and I know that you can't really pour from an empty cup, or you can, but only for so long. So I have a Christmas gift offer for you if you are in this boat. If your family forgets you and you're feeling that ache this year, I want to give you a gift. If you wanted my course, Restored and Radiant, but finances are tight, I am offering a Christmas coupon just for you. Send me a message with your story through the contact form below, and I will send you a special discount, because if you want this course, I want you to have it. You deserve to feel supported, seen, and cared for this Christmas. And if your family's not old enough or not at a place where they're able to do that for you, I will.